All right, another beer tonight from Sam Adams. Again, it seems like an unending arsenal of brews from Boston, Massachusetts. This is a beer called Cold Snap, which I'm assuming is a spring seasonal. Now, it's listed on Beer Advocate as a year-round beer. I don't think that's right. I think it's a spring seasonal. The reason it's called Cold Snap is because spring, basically, snaps the cold weather. It's a Witbier coming into us at 5.3% ABV. We're going to serve it into this Weizen glass. Decent score on Beer Advocate. It gets a 78. It gets a 45 on Rate Beer. And of course, the highest rated wit beer that I've done so far, in my personal opinion, is Hogarden. Hogarden. Everyone knows Hogarden. It's also, I think, probably the most popular in the world. This beer has a hint of orange peel and plum and uses ground coriander and hibiscus as well. So, according to this, Cold Snap is a white ale brewed with spices and spices added. I guess spices are included in the brewing process, and then post-process they are added. It says, crisp and lively, the hazy smoothness of this unfiltered white ale is awakened by spring spices, a hint of sweetness from orange peel and plum, and the peppery bite of fresh ground coriander create a subtle and refreshing kick to signal that spring is on its way. Cheers. Now, was Sam Adams the wit beer that I hated with a passion? It wasn't this one, obviously. It wasn't Cold Snap. I haven't done Cold Snap, but it might have been one of their fall beers. I remember just hating one, just absolutely like probably the second worst beer I ever had, aside from that Wild Blue nonsense. So hopefully this will be a little better than the other wit beer that I think I've had from Sam Adams, and I think was a wit beer. I'm not positive. Anyway, this one pours with not too much of a head, and it's very orangey as well. This is a very orange wit beer. It gets a little bit over a finger of head or so. Nice looking beer. Cloudy. With a wit beer, I expect a little bit of a lighter color than what I'm getting here. This is more of a Hefeweizen kind of look to it. So let's get the aroma now of Cold Snap. Interesting. Soapy. Almost shampooey. And maybe that's the coriander. I don't know if coriander is such an ingredient that's very frequent in this style of beer. Seems like wit beer is one of those styles that you can add a lot of different stuff to and make it different. I've had a lot of different smelling wit beers out there. I'm a little wary about that smell. I don't know how I feel about this. So let's get the taste now of Cold Snap. What the heck am I tasting here? This is strange. It it's like it wants to be orange, and I don't know if it's the orange counteracting with the plum, but it tastes vanilla almost. Almost like a vanilla extract kind of taste to this beer. Really strange. Creamy. A weird... I don't know how I feel about this. Do I like this? Do I not like this? It's completely out of left field. I don't know if they put vanilla in this, but it really has a vanilla taste to it. Am I going crazy? If you've had Cold Snap, and I know it's a pretty popular beer as far as accessibility goes, are you getting the vanilla kind of taste that I'm getting from this? Creamy taste to this wit beer, which is strange. As far as a rating, I'm gonna go ahead. Oh man, this is a tough one. I need some time to think about this. Did not have a beer quite like this ever in my life. And as I mentioned with the style of wit beer, it just seems that wit beers, and who would have thought that wit beer would be a style that just you could have tons of different kind of tasting beers from. I always thought wit beers were more like Hefeweizens, and they kind of are somewhat like Hefeweizens, but you can really go outside the box with wit beer. As you know, with Hefeweizens, you really can. Hefeweizens kind of have that same basic kind of groundwork for taste, but this is yeah, beer that I wouldn't be able to drink a bunch of, but I like what Sam Adams is doing with this. So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Appearance is a little darker than I would normally like, and a very frothy head too. That's the other thing. The head is very frothy, almost very creamy kind of head to this beer. Um, the aroma, I think, is where it gets most of its points for me knocked off. The aroma is just very weird. Um, yeah, very, very strange and just not very orangey. And the taste, like I said, vanilla, maybe the plum counteracting with the orange. I just don't get enough orange out of this beer at all. It just does not taste wheat. It tastes creamy. So, I mean, if you like that kind of thing, although I don't know what else to compare it to as far as kind of thing goes, um, it's definitely outside the box and definitely drinkable, I would say. So I'll give a Cold Snap 6 out of 10. Thanks.